For anyone who labels victims of harassment, gang stalking, and smear campaigns as paranoid or crazy, please have a little peek into what life looks like when you have to endure these things. I hope you're compassionate enough to watch this short little clip with an open mind and an open heart, because these people who do these things to us, they think it's funny. They do this every day, all day, but it stops for me. Now, as hard as it may be to believe, it goes so much deeper than that. Most of the time, we tend not to share our full experience because, of course, we're not believed. But imagine living like that every second of every day. Imagine what that feels like. Other victims can watch that little clip and they know. They're the ones who know that that little clip, that doesn't even come close to what we actually endure. But just imagine it. Imagine that being your life. There's different levels to this torture, and by that, I mean you have individuals who are at the beginning stages of this nightmare, and my personal opinion, from my experience, is that the beginning stages, those are the absolute worst. You don't know up from down, you don't know who's doing what and why, you have no idea what to do or how to make it stop. When you realize it's happening to you, I guess the best way that I can describe it, it's like waking up in a nightmare and then being stuck in that nightmare. The most difficult and scariest part for me personally, it definitely was the beginning stage. Knowing that I had to get out of my house, but not having anywhere to go. I mean, imagine that. My intuition told me I needed to leave immediately if I was going to survive. Now, I made a video about living in a tent for about a month because that's exactly what I had to do. That's all I had the resources to do. That was the longest month of my life. That's when it all hit me. Sitting there thinking about who was involved and thinking about the way they were setting me up to be admitted into some kind of psychiatric hospital. And even times they attempted to take my life was like falling off a cliff and just thinking about all of it on the way down. But then there's what I feel is the next stage. Acceptance. My situation was and still is so intense that I had to actually leave Georgia and move to Costa Rica. I had to actually leave the country, guys. This is why I say in the comments that yes, I agree that there are some authorities that's compromised. The individuals who's after me, they collaborated with compromised authorities to keep what was happening to me covered up. Every time I called the authorities, the same ones showed up. Now, what's the odds of that? Now, I had no idea if Costa Rica would be better or worse for me, to be honest. But I knew I had to go. That's the only thing that I did know. I knew I had to leave. I don't know why Costa Rica. My intuition said go there. And so that's what I did. Now that may sound pretty easy, but at the time I was suffering from agoraphobia at the highest level ever. Please guys, look up agoraphobia if you are not familiar with it, because I do feel like it does not get the attention that it really should get. But I could barely go outside without somebody being with me, and that was just going to my patio. It was bad, guys. It was real bad. So leaving the country and going somewhere alone and not even speaking the language, that used to make me cry when I used to sit in that tent just thinking about it. But I knew if I wanted to live, I knew what I had to do. I had to do it. Now, I have videos where I speak about the whole ordeal of relocating, so check those out for anyone who's considering relocating, because it wasn't a cakewalk for me. And I'm very transparent about what that experience was like. So please be prepared before you watch any of those videos, because it was not rose petals and smiles for me at all. But again, I wanted to live, and no matter how hard it was going to be, I had to fight through the fear. Now, once I got to Costa Rica and settled into my Airbnb, that's when my acceptance started. Every day I would think about everything I went through, and more so the people who was doing this to me. I had a rough time facing the fact that it was people I call family, people I thought were my friends, people I loved. Now for me, going through that acceptance stage, that turned fear into anger actually. It took me a couple months to go through that because that's a hard pill to swallow. At first, I was so hurt, I was stuck in that stage for a minute. To have everyone turn against me, everyone, and I mean everyone. They even turned my own kids against me with lies. I was stuck. Then I got angry. It's like I couldn't believe that the people that I love would just turn on me just like that. I was pissed, guys. I'll be honest about it. I was pissed. But I wanted to know why. Why in the world was this happening to me? Because remember, I was at the highest level of agoraphobia at the time. So I was in my room 24/7 every single day. I was already no contact with my so-called family, so I didn't bother anybody. Not one soul. No drama, no arguments, no disagreements, nothing. It just didn't make sense to me. All I knew was I just needed to stop being in denial and accept the fact that I was by myself. And I had to let go of the idea of who I thought these individuals were. Just because I had love for them, it didn't necessarily mean that they genuinely had love for me. As hard as it was, guys, I had to accept it. That wasn't easy. I'm just going to be straight up about that. One minute I blamed myself, the next minute I blamed them. It was like a roller coaster of emotions for months. Then I hit the next stage out of nowhere. I had a dream one night that some man was telling me that I needed to see things for what it is, and it was time for me to put the pieces together. When I woke up, I felt different. I was now in the stage of trying to understand it all. Now let me tell you guys what my number one tool was, and still is, to make it through this stage without losing your freaking mind. It's your intuition. Now I say this because when you get to the stage to where we're past the fear, we're past the hurt, the denial, and now we're focused on understanding what exactly is happening. If you seek answers all willy-nilly, it'll feel like you're on a hamster wheel. So that opens the doors to, it could be anything basically. Now if you let your intuition bring the answers to you, you'll get a different outcome. But you have to surrender to your intuition like never before. When you think you know someone, that's the wrong move, guys. If you underestimate people just because of the title that they have in your life, that is the wrong move. If you feel like maybe you should go to war with these people, again, that's the wrong move. Every last one of us are so programmed to react with our ego that your ego will have you stuck making all the wrong decisions. When I first fully tapped into my intuition, I made a million mistakes because my intuition said one thing, but I thought I knew better, and I did the opposite. And I'm just being honest about that. If you want to understand your situation so you can make sense of it all, please guys, drop that ego. Trust me, in a sensitive situation like what we experience, your ego is not your friend. From my experience, it's either or, your ego or your intuition. You have to choose. Now many of you could say just give it to the Most High, but actually I just don't see it that way completely. I feel like the Most High bless us with intuition, bless us with the ability to discern, bless us with courage and wisdom for a reason. I honestly feel we're not supposed to just drop our problems on the Most High and sit back waiting for it to get fixed. We have to do our part. We have to put in some work. We have to use those tools that we're blessed with and not just expect to be saved without doing our part. Now don't get me wrong, I look to the Most High for divine protection, divine guidance, divine justice. But even with the Most High, I definitely believe in reciprocity. We have to do our part. We have to choose to meditate or pray. We have to choose to listen to our intuition, because I feel that's divine guidance. We have to choose to have faith. We have free will. We have to choose to accept the information that we receive. And I'm gonna tell you right now, guys, sometimes that information, it hurts. Sometimes you don't want to accept the information. You don't want to wrap your head around it. But again, it's free will. It's a choice. I feel like you either choose right or you're going to stay in that hamster wheel. But it is a choice. And let me tell you, from my experience, when you drop your ego and when you surrender to letting your intuition guide you, that divine guidance, that's when your whole life changes. When you're stuck with 1,000 thoughts, just be still, guys. Be still and meditate. Let the answers come to you. If you run around trying to figure it out on your own, you're not leaving room for divine guidance. Now that looks different for everyone, so I'm in no position to say what that looks like for you, because I only know what that looks like for me. It could be signs, synchronicities, songs, commercials, movies, billboards, who knows, videos, whatever. With an open mind, with a blank mind, you have to pay attention to the messages that are trying to be communicated to you. I'll give you an example. Now I know it may sound weird or whatever, but it's just a small example. I'm on YouTube all the time. I'm not on any other platform, so YouTube is my social media. Now with the millions of videos on YouTube, I just allow my intuition to tell me what videos to click on. Now that's where discernment comes in, because I could watch a 2-hour video, but only one sentence will resonate with me. I know exactly what message is for me because I know what information I need clarity on or confirmation. Out of the whole 2 hours of watching that video, I know exactly what the message is that I'm supposed to get out that video. The rest of the video is just entertainment. And nobody's gonna know the message that I got out that video because it's personal. Because let me tell you guys, these people that stalk us, they go so far as to hack our devices and accounts to see what we watch, to see what we look up. And I think it's their way, I guess, of studying us and trying to figure us out or whatever. But sometimes I click on videos and go do other stuff just so they can think that that video resonates with me. And they sit there studying it. It's the craziest thing. That's probably about as petty as I get. But I don't know, nothing is more hilarious to me than people thinking that they know me better than I know myself, or like trying to get in my head. They get fixated on us. They really do. They get fixated. And I'm sorry, but that's the most egotistical thing ever. I don't care how much or how long somebody monitors me. You will never know what's in my head. You'll never know what I'm thinking or how I feel. People like to have some kind of delusion of grandeur, thinking that they're so smart and they know what's in our heads just because they hack your device or camera and they're monitoring what you're watching. I mean, come on, guys. It just doesn't work that way. No one can know how a person feels just by monitoring them. You can guess, but that doesn't make it right. It doesn't make it true. I walk around with a blank face all the time, guys, looking angry on the outside, but in my head, music is playing, I'm dancing, I'm somewhere else kicking it. These stalkers and gang stalkers are not as smart as they think. They're not. And that's a fact. I say this all the time, and this works for anybody, not just me. When you tap into someone else's energy, especially if it's uninvited, you simultaneously invite them into your energy. I mean, think about it. Can someone invite themselves into your living room without you knowing they're sitting in your living room? I mean, come on. But hey, whatever floats your boat, because all you really want to know is who's monitoring you. That's very easy to figure out. When someone taps into your energy, all you have to do is sit still. Take tarot for instance, guys. And I know, most of us was taught tarot is demonic, but I beg to differ. You know, there are some fraudulent tarot readers. That's true. Like I said before, there's good and bad with everything, because there are some authentic tarot readers who do channel divine messages. These people who stalk me, they know that I watch certain tarot channels, so they scurry over to those channels to see what they're saying, and then they assume that they know the messages that I resonate with just because I watched the video. That's the craziest thing ever. The hilarious thing is, some of those channels I watch because of the reader's charisma. I absolutely love somebody who can make me laugh. If you can make me laugh, I'll watch your whole video from beginning to end. And most of the times, not one message resonates with me at all. I just like the reader. Even the readers blatantly say, not all messages will resonate with you, so take what does and leave the rest. But stalkers are so narcissistic that they believe they know you, and they're always one step ahead of you in your own mind. What in the world is that? Anyway, guys, the moral of the understanding stage is to rely on your divinely guided intuition. Try to sit still when you want answers, and then have an open mind and an open heart. Now, you may receive your answers differently. Like I said, it may not be videos. It may be on the side of a truck, or synchronicity with numbers that you keep seeing over and over again. Look those things up, or make a mental note. My intuition, guys, it has literally saved my life on countless occasions. Everyone can have their own interpretation of what intuition is, but for me, it's the Most High communicating with me directly. I do exactly what my intuition says, and I don't question it. I could wake up in the middle of the night, super tired, and my intuition can say, pack your things and get out now. Guess what, guys? I'm packing my things and I'm out that door. Where I'm headed and why I'm headed that way, I guess that'll come next. But I'm out that door. You never know how far these people are willing to take things. And you know, people have actually paid people to try to take my life. So when my intuition says do this or do that, I'm on it immediately. And believe me, guys, it is not fair. It's smart. I can't stress this enough, guys. Surrender to your divinely guided intuition for guidance. Stalkers think you listen to other people to guide your steps. And if you do, please reconsider that. There is no one on this planet that guides my steps outside of my intuition. Those are divine messages from the Most High. That's how I feel. Now, I do listen to advice, of course, depending on the source. But advice, that's just suggestions. It is not the same as guiding my steps, not in my eyes. For me, the Most High communicates to me directly on what steps to take. I don't even listen to my own ego. But that's just me. But once answers come to you little by little and you're tapped into your intuition, the next stage is the stage that I'm in now, healing. That understanding stage, that lasts for months. At least for me it did. And it's still going on for me. But I know enough to where I know who's doing what. And the bottom line, I just stay clear away from these people. Because regardless of their title, or rather I know them or not, these people mean me no good. And I've accepted that. And I released them fully and completely. Now, I just focus on living and healing. I live a peaceful, unbothered, simple life, guys. And I just focus on resetting my life. That's what's important to me now. That's priority. healing myself and sharing what I've gone through. And hopefully, I don't know, hopefully it'll help somebody who's going through it. And hopefully it'll help them to not make the mistakes that I made. Healing is everlasting for me. After everything that I've been through and still going through, because the gang stalking and smear campaigns haven't stopped, I deserve to prioritize myself and bring myself into alignment one moment at a time. And that's what I'm doing. Those who set out to make our lives a living hell and spend every moment of every day obsessed with our existence, once you get to the healing stage, you understand that they're the ones who's trapped in a box, not you. You're living your life, whatever that looks like for you. Their opinion on your life, that's irrelevant. You're at peace and you're living your life every day. You don't stalk them, they stalk you. You're not obsessed with them, they're obsessed with you. These people couldn't go one day without tapping into your energy. They won't admit it, not even to themselves, but they couldn't stop stalking you if they tried. You've actually become more important to them than living their own lives. And that's a fact, as sad as it is. And the crazy thing about it is all they have to do is stop. It's literally that simple. But they can't. I honestly believe they cannot stop. I believe some of them maybe have tried. They may go a day or two, but for some reason they come back. They have to see what you're doing. They have to tap into your energy. They have become obsessed. And yes, it's almost like they feel entitled to know what's going on in your life. They cannot help it. Now think about this, guys. It literally makes 0 sense for anybody to have some kind of disdain for somebody. They have a disdain for somebody so much that they would rather see that person in a coffin. But yet, they follow that person any way they can, every day of their life. They cannot stop. You know what, guys? Once you realize that, that's when you take your power back. That's when the tables turn. That's when you know for a fact that they are the ones that's unstable, not you. That's when you now laugh at it when they call you crazy, because you know without a shadow of a doubt, watching their actions and their obsession, you know for a fact that they are the ones who need help, not us. Now let's get to what's important, guys, and that's healing. Because I'm not crazy, and neither are you.
A new place, a new home, for a while, let me feel alive. Nothing to hold me back, take my time, just enjoy the ride. A new man passing by, life is good, best I've ever felt. Get me up, somewhere new, somewhere I can find myself. Oh, I feel so alive. As I reach out to the sky. I found my way. I was in the dark against it all, but made it through the day. Cause I found my way. In bad times, I know I'll be okay. Cause I found my way. Cause I found my way. Cause I found my way. My way. Cause I found my way. My way. I found my way. I was in the dark against it all, but made it through the day. Cause I found my way. In bad times, I know I'll be okay. Cause I found my way.